Today, a very powerful day, a very emotional day. You've been mayor here since 1975. What are you feeling? What are you going through right now?
Well, my heart is as broken as all the people in our community, white and black. I mean, you people's eyes well up when we see each other. They're hugging, the white and black people holding hands and singing and praying. I mean, this is the tragedy of this is unspeakable, and it's just heartbreaking. These beautiful people right over there, a Bible study, and a evil man with this bigoted mind taking their lives. It's nothing has happened in this community in my life like this. And I was thinking this morning, the closest thing, I think, was a feeling people had when President Kennedy was assassinated.
Really?
Everyone's heart was broken, and that's people are telling me they just can't stop crying in the community. White people, black people, it's the heartache is indescribable.
I know you've met with the victims' families. I can't imagine what they're going through. How are they?
They're very strong, and of course we know when you go through loss, you have a reserve kind of built up. But yesterday when I spoke to them, we had all the family together with the support systems, which was terrific. And we told them that all of them have one person of contact, and we're going to take care of them from here on out as long as needed, everything. So we've got a great system set up, but I think the telling them and reminding them of the love that the people in this community have for them is so nourishing, because they're isolated in their homes, if you will, and worn out. So they're being buoyed by this outpouring of love and generosity. You know, we had somebody walking here just a minute ago gave me a check for $10,000 for the fund. Yesterday I got a check for $100,000 from the fund. And
from the Carolina Panthers.
The Panthers today from a private citizen, $10,000, and so that I think is so helpful for them and their grieving to understand that they're the opposite of being alone. That this community and I think this country. I mean, I've heard from mayors and governors from one coast to the other, from Alaska to Florida, and just with an outpouring of heartfelt sympathy. So that's a great help to the families.
You've been an advocate for the African American community for a long time. Some people used to call you behind your back Little Black Joe. Lyndon Johnson.
They did, LBJ.
He didn't mean it as a compliment, but you took it as one.
Well, I took it as a compliment. That was a long time ago, and what I knew was I had to exert leadership that would be tough, because things had to change, and they have changed, and people's attitudes have changed, and the community has grown together in a most beautiful and remarkable way. But that's part of leadership. What you do is you understand the truth, where people's hearts would really like to go when they get there, and then you take unpopular positions shooting for that goal, which is the truth and achievement. So that's what it was, and it was a bumpy time back then, but I knew we were headed in the right direction, and we got there.
Do you think that this horrific act of terrorism, of racist terrorism, is indicative in any way of the fact that society, and not just one bad person, but society still has a ways to go?
Yes, it's one bad person and some other bad people, I'm sure, and we need to shed light on that. We've got to find out what these hate groups are up to.
Was he part of a hate group, or you just mean his friends, or?
His friends, but whatever. I mean, some whether he got something, what he got from the internet, and, other stuff is coming out. We don't know how accurate that is, but I think we are in process in America, in process of understanding each other, and in process of the African Americans being fully and completely and collectively and overwhelmingly supported and engaged. We made so much progress. I mean, the President of the United States is an African American, and our community here and everything is done. But I think the dialogue of race, one of my main project that will be the most important thing I do is to create the International African American Museum here. And we're working on it, raise the money. It's in design. We got more money to raise, but 40% of all enslaved Africans that came to North America came here.
Right.
We don't understand that history. So for us to help present it here, to help our country understand, the more we understand the history of Africans being brought here in chains, and then their contributions to America. We still have some work to do. This is one really bad person. He's not indicative of any broad cross-section of America, but I think we have to use this moment, whatever it tells us, from this heartbreak, we've got to use this heartbreak in the most positive way, how we can be better, how we can do more, and certainly how we can care for these families.
I know that today is about healing and about mourning, but tomorrow people will go back to work, and maybe tomorrow will be a day for politics and people trying to talk about what needs to be done in light of this tragedy. You have been an advocate for further restrictions on guns. You have been an advocate for taking the Confederate flag down from the capital of the state. What else do you think needs to be done in this state?
Well, I think in the state and in our country, and I will say we will have, sadly, 9 funerals in the next couple of weeks. And so I think the political action could reasonably, aggressive political action might reasonably and respectfully let those funerals happen. But certainly the Confederate battle flag that was once atop the state capitol, I led a 110-mile march to Columbia. I walked it to get the flag off the dome. It was the state, American flag, state flag, and federal. We got it down, then the legislature to compromise, put it in front of the Capitol. And that needs to go to a museum. It sends at best mixed messages, and at worst for hateful people like Ruth, it's an affirmation because they have appropriated something and used it as a symbol of hatred. So I think that needs to go into a museum, and I think it will. And then the country is just having a very difficult time dealing with the proliferation of guns, and we have to use this most recent tragedy to keep us working on that. We have to do that. It is insane, the number of guns and the ease of getting guns in America. It just doesn't fit with the other achievements of this country. And it's a small, really small group, well-funded, that keeps this issue from being appropriately addressed. And it's not that people can't own guns and all of that. It's just that there's so many, and the ease of getting them, and there's no accountability. And those are pieces of unfinished business. And what we have now is 9 beautiful people, all of them beautiful, wonderful people, prayerful people, studying the Bible, who were killed. If we in America can't use this as a reason to address these issues, then we're not doing a very good job.
We're going to have much more in terms of debate on both the flag and guns, but I know you've got other things to do that are not associated with politics today. Our thoughts and our blessings are with you and the people of this town. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Appreciate it.
Thank you.